Hello, it's Ranny Duck and welcome back to another video. This time we've got two replays in the Hawk 30, which is the Tier 8 German light tank, premium light tank, which they are giving away right now in the Season Pass Awards. So a lot of you, may have already got there or working your way there, but it's the end reward for the Season Pass. And yes, I thought I'd do a quick replay in it just so you can see what the tank's about. I actually really like this tank. This is basically, I think it's an Aguila Hawk 30, but this is basically the same tank, just a non-skin version. I've actually got both. I free-marked both of the tanks just because I quite enjoyed it. It's a bit of a chunky light tank, if I'm honest with you. It's quite big, it's quite chunky, so it's not like the best active scout, if you like, just because you're quite easy to hit on the move. It's not like you're a Vanguard sort of flying around, which is going to be difficult to hit. This is quite an easy target to hit, but yeah, I quite enjoy it. It's 240 alpha. It's kind of, for me, I've always kind of played it where I'm going for the damage, if you like, almost like quite an aggressive medium to try and get, push to positions, use the mobility and just try and keep the gun going. Because it does have good DPMs, 240 alphas. I enjoy the tank personally, but I think it's just preference really. I tend to like anything which's got a bit of gun depression, mobility, because then you can tend to sort of, doesn't matter where the game takes you, you can always get to the damage. We're on Overlord, which not a fan really, to be honest with you. Not a great map for a light tank either, but it is what it is. We spotted up the TDs at the enemy base. I probably should be backing up and taking the shots from behind the bush, and then maybe I wouldn't actually get spotted. But if I'm honest, I'm just being a little bit lazy. Unfortunately, we were pursuing that with Petty 360, but he has now just got killed. He didn't really have a lot of support there. Maybe we should have turned back to help him, but unfortunately we couldn't save him. We are going to pop up and try and get a shot into this T29. I was trying to get maybe one into the track wheel, but he just reversed back on the ridge before that shot was possible. And we're not going to, I don't want to keep poking up there because all the guns are going to be looking at me. So I'm thinking I'm just going to move, relocate, see if I can get some shots into their rear maybe spot up these TDs again. Because what I'd really like to do, you notice a lot of tanks actually down in the beach. And I'd love to be able to sort of start farming them from above. And they'd be really be an awkward situation. But these TDs are kind of stopping me doing that at the moment. So maybe if those tank destroyers get taken out, then I'll be able to over lean on this ridge and get shots on all the tanks below me. And yeah, because beach rush is a thing apparently. So we're going to get a shot. We get one into this TD. We don't do any damage. We try and go for the track wheel shot, trying to pick up a little bit of that assistance. But he's backed up now around the corner. So we're going to pay our attention, see if we can finish off this Hellcat and this T29. So then once all these threats have dealt with, we don't have to worry about them, and we can then hopefully just push and farm up the remaining damage, because this game is kind of looking like it's going to be a win. The second game is a little bit more touch and go, should we say. But unfortunately we don't finish off at T29 with the first shot. We do manage to pick up the kill anyway now. And now all what's left is those tank destroyers and then the stuff just which are going to be sitting duck in that beach, because realistically, you don't really gain a lot from that beach, and you've got no map control. Like, even if you win the beach, you go all the way back to the base. It's not even a basic cap at the moment because it's team destruction, but even not, it's really easy to get back. So I'm not a fan of taking the beach, if I'm honest. So yeah, so we can poke up now. Now all the guys on the beach, we've got easy farms on them at the moment. Just being careful of this tank destroyer, but he's obviously a bit distracted. And now I'm going to try and finish him off, and just he can't really turn around because he's got tanks in front of him as well. So he's kind of sort of stuck in an awkward situation, allowing us to just pick up the damage. We go for a shot on this only. That's a really poor shot. Now I think I'll do another poor shot on this guy. I really should just be shooting the back of the turret, which is an easy pen. Like, I go for the shot there in the rear of the tank, which I pen, but if you see here, I go for it again. I should just be going for the back of the turret. It's an easy pen, but I don't know why. But we do finish him off, and then see if we can give him, pick up any remaining of the kills. We snapshot that one in, and we bounce, and yeah, we're going to finish him off anyway. One thing I forgot to mention is this tank does have some HEP rounds, So I think it's got like, I can't remember, I think it's 102 penetration on the HE for 320 alpha. So if you're fighting some lightly armoured tanks like Borsigs and stuff like that, and even like tier 7 Tigers, you can pen on the side of them if you're lucky. You can actually really boost your damage with those rounds. So they're quite nice, but it doesn't have that many rounds to begin with, so you have to be a little bit careful. We're trying to edge a little shot at this Centurion. We can't get a shot at the moment, so we go for the track wheel, see if we can pick up a bit more assistance. And then we actually then find the shot, we get one in, that's going to be the right last shot of the game. And that brings us into the first video. Like I say, it's just a bit of more of a whitewash, this video. The next replay is a lot closer. But we do pick up 4 kills, 3,600 damage, 2,000 assistance, ace tanker, high caliber. So yeah, that's it for the first one, and I'll see you in a bit for the second replay. Okay, thanks for staying with us. Here we are for the second replay of the video, and this one is a lot more exciting and a lot closer than the first replay, should we say. So yeah, so we're on Ellenberg. We are in a tier 9 game. I'm going to initially go and spot up near the castle, because sometimes you can catch people crossing over this side. And I'm hoping to see, yeah, maybe I can spot anything, get a little bit of assistance, get a little bit of early damage in, and at least sort of get a sense of, you know, what's coming this way. Already you can tell a lot of our teams actually pushed the other side of the map, and it's only like 4 tanks with us this side, so we know we're not going to have that much support here, but also it doesn't look like much of the enemy have actually pushed across either, because we've not spotted anything yet. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to, before I sort of decide to go back and you know, make a decision to help the other side, I think I'm going to push up and see if I can spot anything which is going to be sort of camping in the base, where maybe if our tanks sort of push up with me, they get some shots in, or maybe the artillery will hit them and I'll be able to pick up some assistance. As you see, we do spot up quite a few tanks here, spot up 6 tanks on the ridge, and we're now just trying to avoid sort of cover. I'm popping into the water here just because it makes it harder for the artillery to shoot you, because I think, well, you always used to be, if you're just fully submerged in the water you didn't get the splash damage, but I don't know if that's still the case. But yeah, I'm going to just try and, I spotted this STI, it's not really a great position for him. I was trying to work out if he was AFK or not, because he doesn't seem to be moving, but I think he's actually trapped in place there, because he does start to move back. I've picked up sort of 1,600 assistance. So while we've still got him spotted, we can see we can just try and pick up the remainder of assistance, see if we can get him taken out, because that'd be a tier 9 tank out of the game. But we are already at the start of the game 3 tanks down, and yes, it's not a great start for our team, but I am picking up a little bit of assistance. Got my first shot of damage into the T-32. But I'm starting to realise that the north of the map, top right hand side of the map, where the majority of our team went, they're actually losing, and it's coming in a little bit clear that I'm probably going to have to come back at some point and help defend the base. And naturally, because I am in a light tank, I do have the mobility to get back. I haven't really capitalised that much on the assistance here, because like, my team didn't really push up to help punish the stuff I was spotting, but yeah, I'm sort of engaging it. I'm clearly going to have to go back. I was just trying to pick up a little bit more assistance if I could, you know, punish some of these guys camping. Unfortunately, this dragon just snaps a shot into me there, and I lose quite a big chunk of my HP to him, and I don't do any damage to him in return. So this position is gone. We've lost the other side, and we're now 4 tanks down. And yeah, we need to get back to defend the base, because it is quite clear that we have lost that side. Our Conqueror finally turns up to help us, but unfortunately we're now leaving. There's not much we can do about that. It's now 14-8, 14-7, so yeah, our team's getting smashed, and we're definitely going to be up against it to try and get a victory in this one, and that's kind of the story for a lot of this game. That Jag Tiger we're pushing past at the moment in our team, just a little shout out to him. He actually goes on to have, you know, don't want to spoil it, but he goes on to have a good crucial game for us in the end. We spot this Super Hellcat crossing. We try and get one shot, punish him. At this stage, I'm thinking this is going to be a hard one to win. but I'm just going to try and get as much of it out as I can because it's now 14-6. This Emil's kind of trapped in the middle. We've got one shot into him there. We're hoping we can maybe finish him off, but there's a lot of sort of guns looking at us, so maybe we lose our spot. We may be able to come back to that Emil, see if we can finish him off, and just take out a tier 9 tank. That'd be nice. So we go for a shot there. I think maybe we aimed a little bit high, and the APCR is dropping that penetration. It doesn't have the best of pen on the APCR, this tank, so we bounce off the lower plate. We've got two light tanks here, we're both low health. We're going to try and finish off the one shot because we really need to take tanks out of the game. It's now 5-10. We're hoping we can be able to take out this Hawk 30. I could pen this guy with the Het rounds, but I didn't really have the time to swap rounds. He does get taken out anyway, so it sort of brings the numbers a bit more reasonable. It's now 4 versus 9, but we're still obviously up against it. But fortunately for us, there's still a lot of their tanks never took the advantage and of like winning the other side, and because they stayed at their base, that's helped us a lot because I haven't had to deal, although we was like so big down on numbers, I haven't had to deal with all of those at once, which has obviously made life a lot easier. Unfortunately, we're now down to a 3 versus 8. We do manage to take out the Emil, which was good because it's the big tank out of the game. But we haven't got that much cap pressure yet. It looks like one of us is going to pop into the cap. I think that E50. But he's by himself, so we're going to have plenty of time to get back. We've got 1 minute 40, so I don't need to worry about that just yet. If someone else gets in the cap, then obviously I'm going to have to worry about it. We've seen this Dragon pushing across, one that shot us earlier. We're going to prioritise this guy because he's a low health tank, and we need to take out the low health tanks to even up the scores because it's now 2 versus 8. We're hoping we can finish this Dragon off, which we do. We do get lit up in return, but we're taking out a tank. We can try and dip into cover and get out of sort of gun sight from these tanks. And then we're going to try, if we can, to try and shoot these tanks as they're sort of crossing. Because the E50 is obviously now not in the cap. It's still 2 versus 5. We've evened up a little bit. But this STR, we know he hasn't got the great crew because we spotted him earlier. He gets taken out by that Jag Tiger. Like I say, he goes on to have a really crucial input to this game. We now got into a 2 versus 5. I'm sort of heading over to that cap to see if I can light it up for our Jag Tiger because that E50 is obviously a big tank now. It's a really dangerous tank, tier 9 tank. So obviously top tier in this game. And yeah, I can't kill him at the moment because he's not a one shot to me. But if I get the Jag Tiger to put a shot into him, then obviously I can finish him off. And it would be really good so we not have to worry about him being in the cap. Like I say, I could go in and get the reset if need be, but I don't really want to lose any more hit points if I don't have to. I've also got to be careful that there's a Dreadnought, and obviously he can one-shot me. So yeah, you do have to be a little bit careful. I pooed over, but the E50 does get out of the cap, so now we don't have to worry about the cap timer anymore. I'm going to push back and see if I can get a shot. It looks like the E50 is trying to cross back over. I'm surprised he didn't just cross over towards us when he had the chance. He's now in a one shot and I get the slimmest of shot with the heat rounds through his turret. That was so fortunate, but massive, because this is going to make it a lot, it's going to make it a lot easier for us now. Not one less angle basically to have to worry about. We've seen this TD up there. I think it's a Borsig. I swapped to the Het rounds because I know I can pen him. I tried to sort of make it look like I was going that way, and then when I lost my spot, I'm going to turn around to see if we could catch him off guard and put in his shot. Unfortunately, it hasn't really worked, and now this Dreadnought is coming for us. Like I say, he's a one shot. I don't want to be caught in a situation where he can just push over, trade the shot, and then kill me. So I'm going to have to move forward and take another different angle. But I am concerned there was a Borsig round there. I'm praying he just fluffs his shot. He missed it, but now I do know I can kill him before he gets his reload in. But I don't need to because the Jag Tiger gets that shot in there for me, bringing it to a 2 versus 3. But I think the biggest threat for us at the moment is really this artillery, because the Jag Tiger is having to fight these tanks and get shot at by the artillery, which is a real bit of a problem. I'm obviously a one shot as well. I'm looking to see if I can get shots in to help him out. I figured at this point I might go over to the right hand side a little bit and see if they were on the ridge. I could get shots onto them while I was on the other side of the ridge. At least that was the plan. Looking to try and find a better angle of attack. Unfortunately, they haven't really pushed over, and I'm now conscious I've left that Jag Tiger by himself. But thankfully, like I say, he actually shut down that Dreadnought because he did have a really good game, and that's brilliant now because now I can push over. Probably should have loaded the Het Browns, but I was just trying to get over as quick as I can. He's put one shot in the Shastra. I know whatever happens now, I'm going to kill this tank before he reloads, and that is a massive shot. And we brought this back from at one point it was a 2 versus 8, and now it's a 2 versus 1. We've just got to avoid getting shotgunned by the Fun Police. And we should bring this one to a victory. You see the Fun Police's shot there. We know roughly whereabouts he is. We're going to head over and see if we can take him out. I've got 5 kills. That Jag Tiger's got 6 kills. I'm hoping I might be able to pick up the top gun here. We've got 4,000 assistance, 2,000 damage. We've had a decent game, but it's more about the game than the direct result of the damage. Like I say, being in a 2 versus 8 situation. So we're looking for this Fun Police, trying to find him, and I was not expecting him to come around there. So that was Squeaky Bum. I did not see that. We do know we've killed him now, thankfully, because that would have been a horrid way to end that game. No one would have wanted to see that. But yeah, that brings us an end to the replay. So let's just see what we did, and we picked up 6 kills, 2,600 damage, about 4,000 assistance. Obviously got the top gun. And yes, it was a really good game. He's got the Scout Medal, the Ace Tanker, and I think that Jag Tiger goes on to, yeah, he has just over 6,000 damage and 6 kills as well. So I definitely wouldn't have won the game without him. Likewise, you know, without me, we both had a really decent game there to bring that one for a victory, which almost looked like certain defeat. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!